So, this has become a daily thing. The squirrels in my neighborhood have decided their only purpose in life is to bully my 150-pound Great Dane. And Diana is not taking it well. Let me show you what I mean. This isn't just a dog chasing a squirrel. Oh no. This is a coordinated psychological attack, and my gentle giant is their number one target. It's a war fought with acorns and chattering insults, and I have a front row seat to the whole ridiculous show. The squirrels are playing a game, and Diana, bless her heart, thinks it's for real. Before we get into the drama, you have to understand Diana. She is truly a gentle giant. Her default setting is lounge. She's a professional napper, an expert cuddler, and she seems to think her main job is to be a living, breathing 150-pound lap warmer. She floats through the house with this kind of slow-motion grace, usually with no idea how huge she actually is. She's famous in our house for being easygoing. She's a furry four-legged Zen master who can sleep through thunderstorms, the vacuum cleaner, and the smoke alarm I set off last week trying to make toast. But all of that changes the second the squirrels show up. The moment she sees one of her tiny tormentors, a switch flips. All that calm just vanishes, replaced by this intense, laser-like focus. Her ears, which are usually flopped down, perk right up. Her whole body goes stiff. She lets out these little whines and moans, sounds of pure, desperate hope. It's a complete personality swap. My peaceful, sofa-loving dog becomes a creature with one mission: to defend her yard, her honor, and her dignity from the furry little menaces on the fence. It's just a wild contrast, seeing this majestic, powerful dog get completely wrecked by a creature that weighs less than one of her ears. She's not aggressive at all, but she is deeply, personally offended that they even exist. Now, let's talk about the bad guys in this story. The Squirrel Syndicate. This isn't just one random squirrel, it's an organized crew. You've got the leader, who I've nicknamed General Fluffy Tail. He's the boldest one. He'll sit right on top of the fence, directly in Diana's line of sight, twitching his tail in this way that can only be described as mocking. Then you have his little buddies, Twitchy and Chatterbox, who are experts at creating diversions, running along different parts of the fence to split her attention. Their strategy is brilliant because it's so simple and so cruel. They never come too far into the yard, that would be too fair. They hang out in that little zone right along the fence, just outside of her reach. They seem to understand physics way better than she does. They know that once she gets going, her momentum is massive, and they use the fence as their escape plan, zipping up and over it a split second before she arrives in a clumsy storm of paws and frustrated snorts. And their chattering isn't just random noise, they're talking to each other. It sounds like they're either giving tactical updates or, more likely, just laughing at her. It really seems like they enjoy teasing her, like it's the most exciting part of their day. They've turned taunting into an art form, and Diana's outrage is their masterpiece. This whole showdown plays out in a few stages every day. First is the window war. This happens every single morning. General Fluffy Tail will pop up on the back of a patio chair, and it's like a silent alarm goes off in Diana's head. She'll plant herself at the glass door, her nose pressed so hard against it, she leaves a perfect little fog print. She starts with a low, deep moan, a sound of pure longing. Then it gets worse. Her tail, which is basically a weapon, starts thumping against the wall. A little whine will sneak out, high-pitched and full of anxiety. And the squirrels see all of this, of course. That's the whole point. They'll do acrobatics on the bird feeder, like they're putting on a show just for her. It's their own private squirrel TV. Then there's the backyard standoff, which is my personal favorite. I'll let her out, and she'll immediately try to go into stealth mode. And let me tell you, a 150-pound Great Dane trying to be stealthy is one of the funniest things you will ever see. She gets low, tucks her head down, and tries to hide behind a single rose bush. It's ridiculous. She takes these slow, careful steps, as if the squirrels can't see the giant speckled horse pretending to be a plant. One of them, usually Twitchy, will actually play along. It'll freeze on the fence, pretending it doesn't see her. This goes on for like a solid minute, a silent, tense standoff straight out of an old Western. And then, Diana breaks. She launches herself across the yard in this magnificent ground-shaking gallop, and just as she's about to get to the fence, absolutely convinced this is the time she'll finally get one, the squirrel just zips up the side and disappears. Diana will slam on the brakes, skidding to a stop and just staring at the empty spot on the fence with a look of pure betrayal. This is when the pouting starts. She'll turn around, walk slowly back to the door, and refuse to even look at me. Then she lets out a huge dramatic sigh and just flops onto the ground, her entire body screaming, "My disappointment is immeasurable and my day is ruined." The feeder gambit is probably their cockiest move. They know the bird feeder is the jackpot, but it's also perfect for taunting. They will hang completely upside down from it, stuffing their faces with seeds, while making direct eye contact with Diana, who is losing her mind just 10 feet away. She doesn't usually bark loudly. Instead, she talks to them. It's a series of low rumbles, frustrated groans, and huffs. It's like she's trying to reason with them, or maybe just listing all the ways they've hurt her feelings. It's a very emotional, one-sided conversation that's impossible not to laugh at. But last Tuesday, things hit a whole new level of disrespect. It was a warm afternoon. Diana was actually lying peacefully in a patch of sun on the grass. The yard was quiet, too quiet. I was watching from the kitchen window when I saw him. General Fluffy Tail. He didn't stay on the fence. He didn't just climb the bird feeder. He slowly and very deliberately came down the old oak tree in the corner. He hopped onto the grass. Diana saw him. Her head shot up. She didn't move, just watched, her entire body coiled like a spring. Diana let out a sound I have never heard before. It wasn't a bark. It wasn't a growl. It was a deep, guttural, a woo, a sound of pure Shakespearean betrayal. It was the howl of a queen whose castle had just been invaded by a peasant. She scrambled to her feet and lunged, but she was so surprised and offended that she got clumsy. She tripped over her own giant paws. By the time she got up, the general had casually hopped back to the tree and was halfway up the trunk, looking down on her with what I can only describe as smug satisfaction. Diana just stood there, panting, looking from the tree to me and back again, like she was trying to say, "Are you seeing this? You're not going to let him get away with this, are you?" After the great acorn incident, the whole vibe shifted. The squirrels went back up to the highest branches, and you could hear their victory chitters all through the yard. Diana was defeated. She didn't even look at the fence again. She just trudged back to the patio, let out the most pathetic, soul-crushing sigh I have ever heard, and collapsed onto the cool concrete. She laid her giant head on her paws and just stared off into space, probably thinking about her life choices. I went out and sat with her, petting her head and telling her she was the best squirrel patrol dog in the world, even if her win-loss record was, let's be honest, 0 and 1,000. She just looked up at me with those big, sad eyes, the kind of look that makes you want to write a strongly worded letter to the local squirrel community. So this is her life now. A daily cycle of hope, trying really hard, getting frustrated, and then just pouting. A gentle giant in a world of tiny, furry bullies. So that's my life, or more importantly, that's Diana's life. A constant, hilarious, and slightly sad war with the squirrel syndicate. Does your dog have a rival? Is there a cat, a mail carrier, or another squirrel that drives them completely nuts? Let me know in the comments below. I really need to know we're not alone in this. And if you enjoyed watching Diana's heroic but failed attempts to defend her honor, please give this video a like and subscribe for more updates from the front lines. For now, the battle is over. Diana is currently inside, probably dreaming of a world with no fences, where her long legs can finally catch up to her dreams. But we all know this is just a temporary truce. The war isn't over. It's just paused for a nap. And you can be sure that tomorrow morning, General Fluffy Tail will be at his post, ready for another day of bullying my Great Dane. And I, of course, will be right here to film it.